attack. The threat of the war between two nuclear-armed rivals appears to be developing in Southeast Asia. Tensions are escalating between India and Pakistan following the deadly attack of 26 tourists in India-controlled territory of Kashmir last week. India accused its neighbors of backing a militant group for the mass shooting, which Islamabad denies. Today, Pakistan says it has credible intelligence that New Delhi is planning military strikes within days. Jason Gaidola joins us in studio with the latest. What can you tell us, Jason?
Manisa, India has yet to officially respond to these latest claims, but India Prime Minister Narendra Modi did chair a meeting with security officials yesterday, leaving the door open for possibly more warfare along the unofficial boundary known as the line of control.
In case of any escalating move by the Indian side, we will respond very strongly.
Stern warnings of military action may turn into reality in Kashmir. Pakistani officials say they possess credible intelligence that India intends to launch a military strike against them within the next 24 or 36 hours, following last week's deadly attack in the tourist town of Pahalgam.
Pakistan has nothing to do with Pahalgam incident, period. We demand an independent and transparent probe by neutral investigators as announced by the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Mohammad Shehbaz Sharif.
Last Tuesday in the northern Indian-controlled territory, a massacre ensued when 5 gunmen in military-style uniforms killed 26 tourists, comprised of mostly Hindu people. New Delhi accused Islamabad of backing militants connected to the attack in Kashmir, which Pakistan denies.
It is pretty clear who is responsible for this. The people who are responsible for this must pay a price. The Prime Minister has to take action, right? And the action has to be clear and it has to be strong, without any confusion. The Prime Minister must not dilly-dally.
Today, India's opposition leader demanded Prime Minister Narendra Modi to retaliate. Modi has yet to officially respond, but he chaired a meeting with security and defense officials yesterday.
So there are very feeble chances that a full-scale war can be initiated, can be started. But definitely border skirmishes and border violations are expected, and India is currently doing that.
Meanwhile, security has ramped up in the region, and the nuclear-armed neighbors began relegating diplomatic ties, threatened to halt treaties, and even barred nationals from both nations.
If you look back to 2019 and the suspension of the Kashmiri constitution, which held it separate from the state of India and provided it privileges, that was a significant move to suppress kind of Muslim domination.
The Himalayan region of Kashmir is claimed by both nations in full, but they only rule the area in part, divided by an unofficial boundary known as the line of control. India accuses Islamic Pakistan of funding militancy in Kashmir. Islamabad says it only provides moral support for Kashmir's self-determination.
So there was this attempt by the state of India to basically subordinate Kashmir within the country as a whole and remove all of its kind of historically special treatment. So that exacerbated the conflicts, the Hindu-Muslim conflicts that have already been going on.
Deadly attacks have happened before in Kashmir, including ones back in 2016 and 2019. Authorities in the Pakistani-controlled part of Kashmir called for intervention and mediation from international partners today. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio spoke with leaders from both countries and asked for de-escalation and cooperation during the investigation of last week's attack.